friends, welcome back to my channel. Okay. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Grace. I am a 25-year-old mama to my daughter Ivy, who is almost 16 months old, and I'm also pregnant with my second baby. It's a little boy, and I'm due in September, so right now I'm 25 weeks pregnant. And today I'm going to be doing baby names I love but won't be using this time. I've wanted to make this video for forever, like since I was pregnant with Ivy. I just never got around to it, and now that I'm pregnant with number 2, I was like, okay, it's finally the time. I would say my name style, because I feel like everyone kind of has their own like unique preferences and stuff on names. I tend to love really vintage classic names that are a bit unique, and not everyone has them, but they're also timeless and they're just gonna wear really well. I also tend to love names that are inspired by nature. Ivy is the perfect example of both of those. Her name is Ivy Grace. And yeah, today I'm gonna be sharing with you my top boy names and girl names that I'm not going to be using for this baby. We have decided on his first name. Still don't have a middle name down, but that's gonna be a surprise that we'll announce when he's born. But I want to share some other names that I love and honestly might use in the future if we have more kids. I think at this time we want to have one more, so very likely they could end up with one of these names. So I narrowed it down to 10 girl names and 10 boy names, so it wasn't like a crazy overwhelming amount. So these are really like my top favorite names that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. And hopefully it'll give you a little inspiration if you're trying to name a baby, or it'll just be entertaining to watch. I'm one of those people that loves names. I've had a baby name list since I was like in middle school, like so far off from having kids. It's definitely become very refined since then and changed a lot, but yeah. But that's enough intro. Let's go ahead and get into this. I'm gonna start with girl names. And then we'll get into the boy names. So these aren't in any particular order, but okay, let's go. So the first girl name that I love, love, love is Cora. If this baby was a girl, that probably would have been her name, Cora. I just think it's so beautiful. You know, it's a classic name, and I feel like it's timeless, and it's not super popular, but it's not like a weird name by any means, so I think Cora is really beautiful. The next girl name that I love is Alice, and Davis really likes this one too. Again, similar style. It's kind of vintage, kind of like some people might say a grandma name, but I think it's beautiful. And yeah, so I love Alice. The next one is Daphne, and I feel like when you hear the name Daphne, you either think of like Scooby-Doo or Bridgerton, but personally, I think of the plant, like the flower Daphne, so I love that there's like that nature element to this name, and it's also kind of vintage, and I just think it's so feminine and unique and just really, really pretty. The next name that I really love is Elizabeth. It's just so classic, and I really like specifically Eliza. I could see naming a girl like maybe Elizabeth or maybe just Eliza, and Elizabeth also has so many great nicknames that goes with it. But I really think Eliza is so beautiful. I probably won't use it personally because I have a cousin who's has a daughter named Eliza. I feel like that's a struggle with names, is like you always know people that are named that, you know? So yeah, but I love that one. I also have that problem with this next name, which is Emma. Apparently I'm thinking of a lot of like Jane Austen characters at the moment, Elizabeth and Emma. I think Emma is such a beautiful name. It's very feminine. It's just like rolls off the tongue, Emma, and I think it's beautiful. But I, again, have a cousin named Emma, so probably won't use that one. The next name that I really love is Nora. I think Nora is so pretty. I've been seeing more and more baby girls named Nora. And kind of a variation of this that I also kind of like is Flora. Like flowers, Flora. I don't know if I would use it. It might be like a teeny bit out there for me, but I think it's so pretty, and I love the like nature aspect of that. And I must like names that sound like that, with Cora being my top name too. So yeah, Nora. The next one that I really love, Davis is not down for this name, but is Fiona. I think it's so beautiful. Fiona, it's just really like feminine. But again, we have the problem, I feel like most people my generation might think of like the character from Shrek, Fiona. I don't know. It's like, they might think that at first, but then after knowing the baby for a little while, like they become the only Fiona. So I don't think it would be that big a deal, but I really do love that name. The next name that I really love is Eloise. I just think it sounds so pretty, Eloise. And it has cute nicknames that go with it, and I just see like a really cute little girl with like pigtails running around being Eloise. Okay, the next girl name I love is Claire. Very simple, but I don't know, there's something about that name that I just think is so pretty, Claire. And a variation of that I actually like a lot, but I don't know if I would like be brave enough to use it as a first name, is Clarity. You know, like the word clarity. Wouldn't that be a cool name? Clarity. Clarity. I don't know, I think it's really pretty. And I could also see using that as a middle name. Ivy's middle name, Grace, which is my name, is a virtue name. So I thought it would be really cool if we could like incorporate virtue names into all our kids' names, but it's really hard to think of like a boy virtue name that's not weird. So I was thinking maybe for like a middle name or something. If you guys have any good ideas, leave them in the comments for me, okay? Okay, and then the last girl name that I love is Lydia. I think it's so beautiful. Again, I guess we're going back to Jane Austen characters. Davis doesn't really like this one. He thinks it sounds like a grandma name. I think it's beautiful and timeless, but Lydia, it just reminds me of like flowers for some reason. So those are my girl names that I love, my top 10. And then I'm gonna get into boy names, and these are harder. I feel like girl names are a little bit easier for me. Boy names, there aren't that many that I love. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first name is Lyndon. I think that is such a cool name for a boy, Lyndon. There's like different ways you could spell it. It like obviously reminds me of like Lyndon B. Johnson, but it's just a very different name, but it still feels very like strong and classic to me. And I think there's also a flower or a plant called Linden. I don't remember, I'm pretty sure. The next name I love is Grayson. I just think that's such a handsome name, Grayson. That's definitely like a more modern name on my list, I would say. And yes, there is like, my name's Grace, Grayson, that would be cool. But more than that, I just love the sound of the name. Davis is not down with that one though. He likes it, but not for our kids, so whatever. But the next boy name that I really love is Jonah. I think Jonah is so cute. There's obviously like the biblical connotation of Jonah, which is a great story. And I just think Jonah is a really like cute, but also like handsome name. It would really work like through the years. Davis doesn't like it. I really love that one, but he doesn't like it. So I'm not using that one. Oh, and then I have the name that we're actually using. I'm gonna skip that one. The next name that he and I both really like is Rise, not Reese, Rise, which I feel like the way that I would want to spell it, people would pronounce it Reese. So that's like my hesitation with that name. You could do like R-Y-Z-E, and then that would be more like clear, but I don't know. I would consider that for a middle name possibly. But yeah, I really like that one, and so does Davis. The next boy's name I really like is Gavin. I think Gavin is such a cool name, and it like goes really well with Ivy in my mind, like Ivy and Gavin. It's one I probably wouldn't use because like I knew a Gavin back in the day, and I don't know, it's just weird like when you know someone with that name. So probably wouldn't use that one. I really like it. The next name that I love, and Davis likes too, is Jasper. I think Jasper is such a cool name. It makes me think of Twilight, which, you know, that's fine. And I think it's also a plant, right? Jasper? Or a tree? So that's kind of cool that it has the plant, so like the nature association with it. And I just think Jasper sounds really kind of like mysterious and cool. Me and Davis both like that one a lot, so I could see us possibly using that one if we had another boy. Another name that he and I like is Mason. It's not my favorite, but I do think it's a good name, like a handsome name, so maybe a Mason. Me and Davis also really love the name Clay. I think I must like CLA names, like Claire. Clay, I just think that's so cute, and I love that it's short. I could also see it being a good middle name possibly, depending on the first name. And again, we have like that nature element to it, so we like that. Okay, the next name I like is like a little bit out there, but it's Willoughby. I mean, I just think Willoughby is so cute. I don't know, am I alone in that? And then, you know, obviously he could go by Will or something if he wanted to, but Willoughby I just think is so unique. Ivy has a book that I used to read when I was little. The main characters in it are brother and sister, and it's Willa and Willoughby. I think that's so cute. I also like the name Willa, but it didn't make the top 10. But Davis is like hard no on Willoughby, which I get. It's a little weird, but I just think it's so cute. Anyway. And then the last name on my list is Luca. I think Luca is such a cool name. It's very handsome, feels a little bit like European, and I don't know, I just really like it, Luca. And me and Davis both like that one, so I could see potentially using that, possibly. But yeah, those are my top boy and girl names aside from the one that we're using. Let's, in the comments, do you guys want to try and guess the boy's name that we picked? I'll give you a couple hints. It has a similar vibe to a lot of these names, with kind of a like a classic kind of vintage name, but also timeless and a little bit unique, and then not everyone has it. And it also, let's see, it shares 2 letters with Ivy's name. So I'll let you guys guess with that one. I'm really excited to share it with you because I love it. Yeah, hopefully we'll decide on a middle name at some point. Like I said, leave your middle name suggestions in the comments because we need help. We talk about it like every single day and we just can't come up with one that we like, that sounds good with the first name. So anyway, if you are pregnant and trying to name a baby right now, congratulations, that's so exciting and good luck. It's hard to choose the perfect name. Weirdly, I feel like first names are easier and middle names are harder, but that might just be me. And anyway, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!